everyone, the topic that I chose is listening skills. I chose this topic because listening skills are detrimental every day. And as a future educator, it is crucial that I build relationships and have good communication skills with my students, my other faculty, and as well as their parents. What specific actions am I going to take to implement good listening skills? I have been really working this semester on being a good listener by nodding my head, asking questions, and most importantly, putting away technology while someone's talking to me. Technology can be a very great distraction, and I've noticed that in my life, technology, when I'm having conversations, makes me not understand what they're saying, and I'm not really intently listening. So it's very detrimental that you put it aside while you're having any conversation, even if it's a negative interaction. Another action that I took to help me learn about better learning skills is interviewing my grandma. My grandma is the best listener that I know. I've had many conversations as I see her every Sunday, but I had a conversation about one of my roommates with my grandma, and I wasn't looking for, oh my gosh, Michaela, you're so good, you're such a good person, but she really intently listened and wanted to help me the best of her wisdom of what I should do with one of my roommates. She was very helpful, but the whole time she was talking to me, she was nodding her head, she had eye contact with me, she was asking me questions to really show that she cared and she was listening. I think sometimes when we don't acknowledge, ask questions, nod our head, people don't think we actually care what they're saying, and I don't want to bring off that impression. Therefore, I've really worked hard to try to listen more intently and put aside my distractions in my life while someone's talking to me. I would say I'm doing much better at the end of the semester with my listening skills, but there is always room for improvement in listening. Although we have many conversations every day with many different people, the two conversations that I chose was both with my peers, one a positive interaction and one a not so positive interaction. The first one was when I had a very deep conversation with one of my roommates about life and things about life that I don't need to mention, but it made us connected and we became a lot closer after the conversation. We have two different ideas on the topic, but we still listened intently to each other's thoughts and both put aside our distractions and had a very good conversation. Whereas my negative interaction was also with one of my roommates who I thought we were better friends. And it all started when she came running into my room, yelling at me, and I didn't know how to react. I hate conflict. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do. But no matter the conversation, it's important to be kind always. That is what my mom has taught me. You always want to be kind, no matter what the situation, what's happening. So I stood there, nodded my head, and held back tears because it was very aggressive. But also from the interpersonal communications survey, I learned even more that I'm a passive person and I'm not very assertive. Therefore, I let her stand there, scream at me, and didn't really react because I can't yell at someone. So I just stood there and took it in. But really, negative interactions shouldn't, everybody makes mistakes, but we will never be as close because of the hurtful things she said about me, and I won't forget them. But I really do need to also work on standing up for myself and saying my opinion instead of just taking it all and being controlled. I chose my two roommates because my roommates mean the world to me. And I honestly would do anything for each and every one of them. And I think how I treat them is a good test of how I treat everybody every day. Whether it's a good conversation or a bad conversation, it's important to always still have good listening skills. So, in both of these conversations, I still had eye contact, I nodded my head, I did ask questions in both conversations, but in negative interactions, it is definitely harder to remain and have good communication skills and not explode. Although I had two completely different conversations, I would say they both ended positively. Well, kind of. My first one, definitely positive because we both even admitted how great the conversation was. The second one, my friend thought that everything was all fine and everything, but I broke down for a long period of time after she left. So on my end of the stick, it wasn't any better. It was worse. But she thought and told a lot of people that, oh, me and Michaela are fine now and everything's okay. But definitely it affected me in the reverse. I would say that my first conversation, I wouldn't do a whole lot different. As I had good listening skills and was intently listening, I wouldn't change anything about that conversation. Whereas my negative second conversation, I would maybe ask more questions and stand up for myself and not just be attacked the whole time. That way, I show my side of the story and it's just not a one sided situation. But otherwise, I did good. I had two conversations that for the most part, had great listening skills. I think the biggest thing that has impacted me would be how to be a good listener in the qualities such as eye contact, really intently listening, putting aside distractions, and asking questions to show that you're listening and that you care. This topic also has made me realize and pay more attention to how I listen to others. And I really try every time I have a conversation to put aside distractions and listen because I do care about everyone in my life and I want to show that I do care. And sometimes when you're distracted, it doesn't look like you care. This communication class has taught me many valuable lessons, but the biggest one is the importance of listening. Listening is everyday thing and we have everyday conversations with people and truly if we're not listening to each other, then we're not showing that we care and want the best for one another. Although after this 8 weeks of class, my listening skills are far from perfect. I have made great amount of improvement and I will take these qualities of being a good listener with me every day and think about it every time I have a conversation with everyone every day. Thank you all for a great semester and many great discussions. I learned a lot from each and every one of you. Thank you.